Welcome, Mantua Township. Mayor Bob Zimmerman here with Mayor Message number 30. I'm here with our illustrious leadership team from the Mantua Township Police Department. I have with me to my immediate left Captain Bill Murphy. Sitting next to him is Lieutenant Brian Hauss, and at the far end of the table is Detective Sergeant Robert Layton. We're here today to talk a little bit about some recent information that was put out statewide relative to the top 100 drug-related arrests throughout the state of New Jersey. And I'm happy to announce that the Mantua Township Police Department was ranked number 33 out of the entire state with 121 arrests, and this was for the calendar year of 2024. So the top 100 municipalities was listed, and we were ranked number 33 statewide. So you may ask, why is this a good thing? And that's why we're here today, and I have some of our leaders from the police department that are going to go through why this is a good thing. Really, it stems from the proactive policing culture that we have here in the police department as opposed to reactive policing. So our officers here in Mantua, and they've been doing this for the past few years, are out proactively seeking out the bad element, we'll say, in town, the bad guys, and they're trying to hit these things head on and eradicate these problems before they fester and become more problematic here in Mantua. So what I'd like to do is go through a series of questions, and these fine gentlemen are going to help us have a better understanding of what the police department's doing and why it's benefiting us here in Mantua Township and making our community actually safer. So could one of you please explain to our residents why the arrests are so high relative to the rest of the state? Because I think most residents would say, wow, the arrests are high. Are we, a crime-ridden, drug-ridden community here? And I'd like to explain why the arrests are so high. I think I touched on it, but if you guys could elaborate, that would be awesome.
Yeah, you did touch on it. When you had mentioned the level of proactivity with the officers. In the past couple of years, we've had a large turnaround of officers relative to retirees, which then turns into a hiring process and hiring younger guys. Our hiring process has yielded a substantial amount of younger guys now that are very eager to work. They come out the gate very proactive. We do our best to make sure that they're trained well. We rarely are denying them any type of training that they're asking for, which gives them the confidence to go out on the road and make these car stops and approach people that they see, possibly committing certain crimes. And so far, it's been yielding a lot of good drug arrests. They know what to look for. They're looking for certain types of the certain indicators of criminal behavior, and they're acting on it because of, they're very confident. Point being is that it really just stems from a lot of great work by the patrol division. They're very heads up. They're very goal oriented. Proactive would be an understatement. They can be very aggressive in what they determine to be a major problem that they want to tackle.
So Mantua Township is a very safe community. We are a transit corridor for Camden, Philadelphia, Rowan University, all high drug areas. So people from Salem County, Cumberland County, they have to travel through Mantua Township to get to Philadelphia, Camden. So our guys, just like MLB and NFL, we use analytics also. We know when drug traffickers are traveling to distribute drugs to Rowan University. We know when drug users would come from Cumberland County and Salem County to go make a purchase in Camden for personal use. So our guys are out proactively looking for these people that are, moving drugs through our town. So it's not necessarily the people in our town that are using drugs, it's the people traveling through our town to go and purchase or distribute drugs in our surrounding areas.
So can I ask you a question, Sarge, or whoever on the panel wants to answer? So sounds to me like these arrests, a good percentage of them are being made on roads such as Route 55, Woodbury-Glassboro Road, Route 45, where the commuter drug traffickers are coming through the township. How does that, benefit us in the town? And what does that do to keep our community safe by being proactive and nipping these things early on like this?
We're out on Woodbury-Glassboro Road where we have a large volume of traffic, or we're out on Route 45 where we have a large volume of traffic. Yes, we're deterring speeders. Yes, we're deterring aggressive driving, but our officers are pinpointing the criminal element and specifically handling criminal interdiction on those roadways. So we know, like Sergeant Layton said, we know at certain times when certain people are driving, or when that criminal element will be out and about. And like I said, we're a hotbed for shoplifting, and that's where also all of our big box stores are. So the people that are coming to, coming from neighboring jurisdictions, or on that top 100 list, a bulk of the arrests come out of Brooklyn, New York, come out of Philadelphia, Kansas City, which is crazy. But a lot of arrests that are happening in New Jersey aren't even from our local municipality. So the same thing is happening to us. The people that are coming to Mantua or being arrested in Mantua aren't necessarily from Mantua Town.
So this is a good thing. The numbers may not sound good, but in reality, it's because we're out there hustling, our officers are out there hustling, and they're pushing, like I said, the bad element out of Mantua Township.
Yeah, to put that in perspective, along with what Rob and Lieutenant Hauss were saying, and what you were saying, if you picture a drug enterprise that wants to push their product, and we're looking towards the summer, and maybe a good spot they would deem from Philadelphia to go down to Wildwood, because there's so many people down in Wildwood. They can go into Boardwalk, they can push their products and things like that. If they're coming from Philadelphia, they're coming right through Mantua Township on 55 to take that straight route down to Wildwood. And that's in our, like Detective Sergeant Layton said, using analytics, we know summertime's approaching. People are going to start going down, opening up their shore houses. The kids are going to start graduating. They're going to go down there for senior prom, or just because they decide to work down there for the summer. And that's where a majority of our Jersey residents like to go on vacation would be down the shore. So not saying that it's strictly Wildwood, I'm just using them as an example, but if you have a criminal enterprise that wants to go and push their product in from Philadelphia or Camden, they're going to come through Mantua Township just to get down to Wildwood, to their destination where they want to be. Our guys know that in the summertime, they might decide, you know what, I'm going to go sit on 55 and see what I can get into down on 55. And that's how they're using their intuition and stuff like that to make these arrests.
Gotcha. So can you give me some idea, or actually our residents some idea, because I'm sure some residents are thinking, okay, so what do we have occurring here in our community, in the developments, we'll say, within our community, relative to overdoses and drug arrests and search warrants on properties within our town, our borders. How does that compare to these drug arrests?
We had 8 reported violent crimes in Mantua Township last year, which would be a robbery, aggravated assault, aggravated sexual assault, serious criminal mischief with damage. So over 30,000 calls for service. It's a pretty good number. We had 3 overdoses since January 1st, 2024 to this date.
That's a big number.
That's a huge number. So where we are in the top 100 for drug arrests, we're not in the top 100 or even close to being in the top 100 for residents, people that live in Mantua, travel through Mantua, overdosing on narcotics.
Right, so those numbers are very minuscule by comparison.
And I don't know if Brian knows off the top of his head, but compared to, we'll say 2020, 2021, or
Where we were
2022,
in
where we were with overdoses then compared to the 3 that we had in 2024. You don't have to give an exact number, but
So in 2023, we had 9. 2022, we were 15.
So I'm presuming this is a cooperative effort from the department. It's a culture, a proactive culture that you guys are promoting at the top. It starts with the hiring process, like Captain Murphy said earlier, and then it really kind of trickles down through the department. So is there a unit or units? Is it certain officers?
I mean, there's certain officers that definitely excel, but they're not able to do that without the support of their sergeants, their corporals, and their other officers. But we do, thanks to the chief and council and the hard work of some of our officers, we now have a 4-man K9 unit, which those 4 officers definitely have led to this uptick in self-initiated narcotic arrests. We also have one squad that just themselves made 95 shoplifting arrests out of 4 people last year.
Wow.
And the rest of the department made 96 shoplifting arrests. So, out of over, 200 shoplifting arrests, one squad made half of them. And those guys with those shoplifting arrests are finding CDS, making CDS arrests,
Sure.
narcotics arrests. So,
Touch base on that real quick.
yes.
So our detective unit works coincide with that one unit there. So it's actually kind of like a almost like a retail theft task force type thing. So we'll go in plain clothes, and we assist any of our big box stores that we have in town here, and they all really support when we come in there. They'll bring extra hands on to help with us. So with like Lieutenant said, 2/3 of our arrests came from our major Route 45, Woodbury-Glassboro Road. 25% of our drug arrests came from actually shoplifting arrests. We arrest that person and then they have drugs on their person when they're committing those shopliftings.
We're thankful for the support that we have from the community. We're thankful for the support that we have from our mayor and council, the chief of police. Because of that, we're able to provide well-trained, proactive, hardworking officers to keep the residents of Mantua Township safe. Not only are we eradicating drug use and narcotics from our jurisdictions, we're also out patrolling. Our detective bureau has solved pretty much every major case that's come its way in the last 2 years. Unfortunately, we might get hit with rings of motor vehicle thefts and burglaries, but we have a great group of officers who are working tirelessly to make those arrests. Following people into the Philadelphia, following people into North Jersey, where we're just very happy and we're in a very successful portion of our timeline here in the Mantua Township Police.
yeah, I think it goes without saying. The credit goes to our officers that are working on the street, and they come in every day, and they are the ones that are going out and just finding these people and doing their job, doing what they were tasked to do, setting goals for themselves, and putting us on the right path to a cleaner, safer place to live.
The moral of the story is, for the bad guys, if you come to Mantua Township, the reality is you're going to be arrested. So don't come here and commit crimes. Don't shoplift. Don't come here and sell drugs. You will be arrested. These officers are out there, they're vigilant, and they're going to do the job to keep us all safe. In closing, I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for watching. And as always, we look forward to continuing our service with honesty, integrity, and trustful leadership. Thank you.